Hello students, welcome to our English period, and today let us continue with figures of speech. Yesterday we did the next figure of speech that were transferred epithet, inversion and apostrophe, and now today let us continue with a set of another 3 figures of speech and starting with alliteration today. Fine. So what is alliteration? The definition is given. This consists in the repetition of the same sound or syllable at the beginning of 2 or more words. Okay, so they say that it is about the repetition of sound or the syllable. Okay, so now the first example. In the first example, an Austrian army awfully arrayed. Okay, so now A has been repeated. Okay, this A has not been highlighted with the red color, but it must be some printing mistake. So we will consider this A also. So in this particular sentence, all the 5 words begin with the letter A. We can also call it a syllable. Okay, like A as in an, okay, A as in Austrian, A as in army, A as in awfully, A as in arrayed. Okay, so these are the sounds. Fine. And the sound, or you can say that this is a syllable. This is a syllable more than the sound, because it is the sound changes. Here it is a, here a. So the sound changes. Hence we will focus more on syllable. Okay, so this is a syllable. Fine. And because it is repeated everywhere, hence it is called as an alliteration. Fine. Now in the second example, a load of learning lumbering in his head. So this is more of a sound. Okay, sound. This low sound is repeated thrice in this given sentence. Hence it is an alliteration. Here in the third sentence, a reeling road rambles round the shine. Okay, now the r sound is repeated. Okay, r. Hence it is an example of alliteration, because the r sound has been repeated thrice in this sentence. In the next, a strong man struggling with the storms of fate. Okay, so the first sound has got repeated or has been repeated thrice in the given sentence. Hence it is an example of alliteration. I hope these examples should be enough. Now the next, moving to hyperbole. Hyperbole is also called as exaggeration, which means an overstatement. Okay, now what is the definition of this figure of speech? In hyperbole, look at the pronunciation, children. Please do not mispronounce this. This is hyperbole. Okay, in hyperbole, a statement is made emphatic. Emphatic is what? To give stress on. By overstatement, such expression is not meant to be taken literally. Okay, for example, 10,000 saw I at a glance. Now, this particular line has been depicted or derived from a very famous poem, Daffodils by William Wordsworth. Okay, where the poet sees many daffodils in a field. Okay, he is so much emphasized or so much impressed by the sight of so many lovely bloomed daffodils in the field. So do you think that the poet must have literally gone and walked in the field and counted the number of flowers? It is impossible, isn't it? He must have not done like that. So by saying 10,000, it means he saw many, huge number of flowers, okay, in the field. So this is an overstatement. Fine. And hence it is an example of hyperbole. She shed an ocean of tears. That means the girl cried so much that she made an ocean of tears. So do you think it must have really been possible for anybody? No, not at all possible, isn't it? So then, what is this? Ocean of tears means what? She cried so much, or she cried too much. Okay, so here again an exaggeration has been made. Ocean of tears means what? She cried a lot. So this is an example of hyperbole. Now, let us take a look at the last example. I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not make up their sum. Okay, so do you think Ophelia must have had 40,000 brothers? No. By saying that 40,000 brothers, it means that she had many brothers. Fine. So these were the examples of hyperbole. Now moving towards the next figure of speech, and let us see which is that. It is oxymoron. Now, in this particular figure of speech, it is a figure of speech which combines two seemingly contradictory elements. Fine. So, they talk about the contradictory ideas, contradictory terms. That means opposite ideas, opposite terms, but not opposite words. When we talk about opposite words in the given sentence, then it becomes an example of antithesis. We will talk about antithesis in the coming up session. Fine. But oxymoron is, it talks about opposite ideas and opposite terms. So let us take an example. He is regularly irregular. Here there is some spelling mistake. Regularly, L-Y. He is regularly irregular. Fine. So now, according to, you may think that this is the right example of antithesis, because it seems to be there are two opposite words, regular and irregular, isn't it? But this is regularly. If you carefully excuse me, if you carefully take a look at the sentence, okay, this is regularly and this is irregular. So if it were regular, and then it would have been opposite words, and then it would have been an example of antithesis. But this is regularly. So regularly is an adverb, irregular is an adjective, isn't it? And hence adverb and adjective, these will be different parts of speech, and hence they will not be an example of antithesis. So then they talk more about ideas, and hence it is an example of oxymoron. Fine. Now let us take a look at the next sentence. This is like a living death. Okay. So in this particular sentence, living is what? It is a non-finite verb. It is a participle. Okay. And what is death? It is a noun. Fine. And hence these two different parts of speech cannot be an example of antithesis, and hence they are the example of oxymoron. Okay. Living, opposite of living will be dying, isn't it? Death, opposite of death will be life. So both like death and life are what? They are the nouns. But here living is an adjective, living is a participle. This is a non-finite verb, and death is a noun. Fine. So they are not of the same category. One is a verb, which is a non-finite verb, and the other one is a noun, and hence they will be an example of oxymoron. Now in the next, and having nothing, he had all. Okay, so you may say, now this is an example of antithesis, but no. So if you talk about nothing, what is the opposite of nothing? It will be everything, isn't it? But is it there? No. So when you take a look at it, it will talk more about contradictory ideas, isn't it? Nothing and all. So he had all. Having nothing, he had all. So they are contradictory ideas. Nothing and had all. So they will talk more about contradictory, that is opposite ideas. There are no exactly opposite words in this sentence, and hence it is an example of oxymoron. Now in the next sentence, the kind cruelty of the surgeon's knife. What is this? Now you may say, now this is an example of antithesis, but again let me tell you, no. Kind, I know. For the opposite word for the word kind will be cruel. But is it just cruel? No, it is cruelty. So what is kind? Kind is an adjective. Cruelty is a noun. It is an abstract noun, isn't it? So again they are not from the same category. One is an adjective, the other one is a noun, and hence it will not be antithesis. It will be an example of oxymoron. Fine. Again in this sentence, sweetest, saddest. So what is the example of, opposite of sweet? It will be sour, it will be bitter, isn't it? Sweet, sour. But here, is it sour? Is it sad? No, it is sad. So what is the opposite of sad? It is happy. But is it mentioned here like that? No. But when we talk, when it is mentioned sweetest, our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thoughts, isn't it? So it talks more about contradictory ideas and not about the contradictory words, and hence all these are the examples of oxymoron. I hope you have understood so far. Please listen to this video or watch this video carefully. In case of any queries, please do write to me on WhatsApp. See you in the next session. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.